I'm still stuck on the fact that it's called Southern Fried Rice. But in all seriousness, what is the message supposed to be of this show? If it's about an Asian girl going to an HBCU raised by black people, what is the message supposed to be? And honestly, how often does that even happen? Not trying to diminish anybody who was adopted by black people that is Asian, but how many people can share that story or can relate to that? If you're trying to tell the story of non-black people who grew up in black neighborhoods, I feel like there's a way to tell that that's a lot more tact. There's a way to tell that while still centering a black person in the story, while still centering a black girl going to the school. I feel like this could have been a friend of. This could have been a story of like a girl really trying to convince her friend to go to a HBCU that is just as dynamic as a PWI. That could have been part of the story. And then her friend gets there and she shares this experience with her. Or maybe the black girl, she always grew up in like a white neighborhood or a non-black neighborhood. Her Asian friend didn't, and her Asian friend convinces her to go, but it's still about the black girl. Like, I feel like there's just so many other ways we could have spun this, because at least it's a common thing that non-black people grow up in black neighborhoods, and that influences them, the culture influences them to make decisions about their life. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like you could tell that story by having a black lead and how that impacts the black lead. Because even if somebody is raised in a black neighborhood and experiences black culture, there are still microaggressions, there are still things that happen and that we need to highlight. They still are not black. They still are not experiencing the full black experience. And I feel like in a series like this, you could show that actually happening. You could show the dynamics of them thinking they're black, but them still getting privilege because they're not black. And the dynamics how they can turn off their black culture and turn it on, where a black person, you're black, you're just black. I feel like that would have been so much more dynamic and so much more relatable to a lot of people. We really sat down and thought this would be so relatable and this would touch so many people. How?